Welcome to Mind Over Control. I'm on a mission to demystify complex global issues in simple, easy to understand terms. Hi, I'm Nick. Today, in our very first episode, we'll clarify who the real people and groups in power are, what steps they've taken so far to rule over humanity, and how they manipulate and program you, making their control over your behaviours and money feel normal while keeping you too busy to notice. And then, with your eyes wide open, I'll share your first steps to regain control over your life, your money, and your mind.
Oh no! What if they don't conform?
Not to worry, Heckle Pig.
Yeah, they're just puppets like you, Heckle.
Now, Maggie. I'm coming to you from off the grid with my co-host, Maggie the Magnificent and free-spirited sheep with attitude, and Heckle Pig, the meek and compliant pig who bears the mark of obedience and righteousness, which is her pass for life, by staying within her boundaries. Here's a taste of the topics we'll cover long term on Mind Over Control and what other truth seekers are saying about them. Hold on to your hats, here's a preview.
Go into the school system. The moment you interact with the teacher, they tell you that in order for you to be approved or in good standing, you have to obey without questioning. You have to raise your hand to talk. All of these things are conditioning you to what? A specific mold, a specific structure. It's what I like to call the hamster wheel, designed to keep you in the 9 to 5, designed to keep you in the work slave mindset.
It was a good old world which we had.
The negative impact of population growth.
In essence, what this bill, if it's passed, is going to do is shut down free speech for Australian non-mainstream media digital content providers.
I mean, they really hate me, and they haven't got us off the air yet.
Released by the Rockefeller Foundation, a more tighter form of top-down authoritarian government. There was going to be biometric surveillance, digital IDs.
And we will not tolerate your vaccine mandates.
Thanked me for endorsing Trump because they can't do it.
Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Are you excited about that?
It's ridiculous. The money doesn't exist anyways.
They want to control the weather by 2025.
Some even believe that we are part of a secret cabal.
There's certainly a lot to take in and understand, but the important thing is that we are aware and know what we can personally do to maintain control over our own lives. Now let's dive in. Can you feel it? That nagging sense that something just isn't right, that life is moving faster, but somehow you're standing still. It's as if the system you've worked so hard to succeed in was never designed for you to win. What if I told you it wasn't? But that a small group of elites, powerful governments, corporations, military and financial institutions hold the majority of the knowledge and wealth and control global policy for their own benefit at the expense of the average person. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is the world you're living in. A world where a select few call the shots, while the rest of us work harder, longer, and for less. Let's find out how we got here, who's really in control, and most importantly, how you can take your life back.
This is, let's say, fiction.
We had Bush, we had Obama, there was no hope. We didn't have a Trump. We had nothing.
My aim is that you leave every episode not just informed, but empowered to take the actions that feel right for you and your family. Because when you truly understand what's going on, you can make decisions that lead to a life you love. I too believed what we were taught. Get an education, work hard, save a little, and you'll eventually enjoy the good life. But the reality didn't match the promise. Leaving home in the dark and arriving back home in the dark with little to show for it just made me feel like my life was slipping away. Then I started asking bigger questions. If I'm exchanging my time for money to serve and make someone else more money, who am I actually living for? Why does it seem like I'm just surviving instead of thriving? That's when I began digging into how the system functions and the global agenda. And what I found changed everything. I knew the system was rigged, and no matter what I did, I could never break free from the 9 to 5 unless I took drastic action. So I walked away from it. I moved off grid and began uncovering the real truth around the world we live in. What I discovered is shocking. and honestly, a bit overwhelming. I realise the world isn't what it seems, and there are powerful systems at play that are designed to keep people like you and me stuck in a never-ending loop of work and worry. But here's the thing. You don't have the time to sift through endless headlines.
These are bad people. These are sick people we're dealing with.
Decode confusing policies or connect the dots between global events. I get it. Life is busy. That's why I've made it my mission to do the digging for you, with Maggie by my side. In every episode, I'll break down what's happening in the world in simple, easy-to-digest terms. No fluff, no fear-mongering, just the facts and what they mean for you. And I'll give you practical steps to help you take back control of your life, your choices, and your happiness.
Where we, as awakened wonders, are truly free, challenging corruption, which I would be inclined to call Satan.
Because at the end of the day, it's your life, and you have the right to live it freely. This channel is about simplifying the complex, breaking it down in ways that make sense, and giving you practical tools to live a life that's truly yours. And you can break free. I did it by moving off grid and reclaiming my time and learning how to live a life that's truly mine. And while I believe in taking big steps, breaking free doesn't have to mean dropping everything and moving to the woods. It starts with understanding what's really going on, because while they're busy building their world, you still have the power to build yours. And here's the truth. The world we live in is carefully engineered by a small group of powerful elites, all with their own agenda, and not for your benefit, but to concentrate the wealth, knowledge and power in the hands of a few.
But don't the banks look after our money and the government looks after us?
Yeah, Heckle, that's why the wealth gap gets bigger and bigger every year, and data brokers are selling your information to the highest bidder.
Yes, Heckle. It seems like they have our best interests at heart, but you're right, Maggie. The truth is that it's all part of a larger agenda. An agenda that prioritises the control of the wealth and the people. An agenda that puts us on a hamster wheel while funneling the wealth, personal freedoms and world control to themselves. A small group of people who basically own us. So who are they? They include very wealthy individuals who, due to new misinformation acts I can't name, but the important thing is that you're aware they exist. Multinational corporations and groups have been named, such as the World Economic Forum, WEF, a group of business leaders, politicians and academics who discuss global strategies. Their leader, Klaus Schwab, is the author of The Fourth Industrial Revolution, available online. Just Google it. It outlines the agenda to implement IT surveillance, integrating AI and biology, collecting human data in smart cities and much more. Then we have international organisations such as the United Nations, which is an international organisation founded after the Second World War by 51 countries committed to maintaining international peace and security. Then the One World Banking Corp, working together to reduce poverty and promote sustainable development and knowledge, financing and expertise. And the World Health Organization, according to their website, advising on health, arguably to our detriment, and possibly the benefit of Big Pharma, another leader in the channel of wealth. And there are powerful families, where the privilege of being part of the elite few has been handed down to its current members. The military are said to be hiding technology like free energy, alien life forms, and our originality, which is a whole other topic. We may never know all of the various powers who rule the world, nor the level of power each one possesses or exactly how they benefit, while we continue to work as drones to pay their way and accept a standard of living that we find acceptable enough not to create a stir. Or if we are dissatisfied, we feel powerless to stand up, and so we don't. I'll keep digging and improving our understanding of how the system is working. The important thing to understand is that the world is being controlled, but that we can maintain our own autonomy of our mind and our life if we choose. And we can be happy and free.
But it's the Prime Ministers and Presidents who make the rules, not people and organisations.
Have you listened to the pollies lately? They're flat out remembering their media script, let alone having the time to govern the world.
Oh, she's a laugh a minute, isn't she? Actually, if you want to teach these concepts about living a life you love to children, check out Maggie's books on Amazon. Your children will love Maggie. Just search my pen name, Cole Gilchrist. Again, this is the tip of the iceberg, but it gives you a starting point to understand the lengths they're going to maintain and further their control of the wealth and the people who serve them as a blind labour force. Feeling less oppressed, protecting your privacy and maintaining your mental health in a manipulated world may seem impossible. We're victim to surveillance, data harvesting for personal programming, and complete control or slavery to a greedy and powerful few. But there are practical steps you can take to stay free, stay fearless, and to maintain control over your mind, your life, and your wealth. So where do you start? Go grab a pen or check the description.
First of all, protect your digital privacy. Use privacy-focused tools and search engines to minimise data collection such as DuckDuckGo. Regularly review and limit app permissions on your devices. Avoid apps that ask for unnecessary access. Use virtual private networks or VPNs. Check the description below for a link to the one that I use that encrypt your online activity, making it harder for corporations or governments to track your browsing habits. Be mindful of the personal information you post on social media and public platforms. Take control of your data. Opt out of data collection. Many companies offer ways to limit data collection. Take advantage of these settings, like opting out of personalised ads. Maintain your mental health. Limit your screen time. Schedule regular breaks from devices, especially social media, to reduce stress and absolutely avoid doom scrolling. Curate your feed. Follow uplifting, educational, or neutral social accounts to limit exposure to overwhelming or toxic content. Engage in activities that centre your mental well-being, like meditation, journaling, even just watch a comedy. I'll share with you now 2 people who are a wealth of information in maintaining possession of your own mind and maintaining your freedom and happiness, and they are Eckhart Tolle and Dr. Joe Dispenza.
So if you say, I refuse to be happy until there's no more suffering in this world. Okay. So the end of suffering, then I'm waiting for it out there, and you might even become very active. I'm going to bring about the end of suffering. You do good things, but you haven't brought about the end of suffering in yourself. So how is the end of suffering going to happen, even if you do good deeds, which is a wonderful thing? But if you are unhappy doing good deeds, then that unhappiness also flows into how you do those things and your interactions with other people. So the end of suffering has to begin with you, and then it spreads. Then, because only when you are in connectedness with the essence of who you are, can you have harmonious relationships with others, and can you feel this deep sense of goodwill towards other human beings, not conditional upon whether they happen to agree with you, or belong to the same political party, or belong to the same religion, or belong to the same nation. It doesn't depend on that, the same tribe. No, to have a goodwill or benevolence towards all humans that you come into contact with, no matter what their conditioning is, that can only come from that deep connectedness with being. It needs to start with you, then this benevolence, this goodwill, changes the way in which you interact with other humans, and that changes on a small scale, and then gradually other human beings here and there can also go to that place within and then start to live it. The end of suffering, and let's forget about happiness. And let's talk about peace. So it starts with you. Be the change. Somebody said it. Was it Nelson Mandela or Gandhi? I don't know. The One Consciousness said it. Be the change that you want to see in the world. So if you want to see peace, you have to embody the peace. The end of suffering needs to start with you, your suffering. That's the end of suffering on the planet.
You see, happiness isn't about having everything go your way all the time. It's about finding peace and contentment within yourself, regardless of your external circumstances. No matter what you're going through, no matter how tough things seem, you have the power to choose your response. You can choose to focus on the negative, to dwell on your problems and challenges. Or you can choose to focus on the positive, to find the opportunities and lessons in every situation. It's not about denying your feelings or pretending that everything is okay when it's not. It's about acknowledging your emotions, but not letting them control you. It's about finding the strength and resilience within yourself to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. So how do you start cultivating this inner happiness and resilience? It's actually simpler than you might think. Here are a few tips that have worked for me. Practice gratitude every day. Take a few minutes each morning or evening to write down 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small they seem. This helps shift your focus from what's missing in your life to what you already have. Take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, and moving your body regularly. When you take care of yourself physically, it's easier to take care of yourself emotionally and mentally.
Keeping our minds on the things we want goes a long way to maintaining our happiness and freedom. If this resonates with you, stick around. In our upcoming episodes, we'll dive deeper into the global agenda, data harvesting, data brokerage, and how data is the new gold. Check this out.
New communication technologies are being promoted as something that makes our lives easier. But the true agenda is to harvest our personal data. The more data can be harvested from the world population, the more power it gives in the hands of those who own this data. If they know every little detail about you, they can have complete control over you. The Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, stated that data is the new oil and the new gold.
Data is the new oil. Data is the new gold.
You don't want to miss that. And most importantly, I'll share with you tools to thrive in a world that's changing fast.
Remember, freedom isn't just your right, it's your responsibility. Let's reclaim it together. In a world filled with uncertainty, your freedom starts with your mindset. When you understand the power of your thoughts, your choices, and your community, you become unstoppable. Together, we can navigate challenges, create fulfilling lives, and stay rooted in what matters most, our sovereignty and our happiness. Let's build a world where our freedom thrives, starting with us.
If you really want to educate yourself on the control mechanisms that work throughout history, how they're functioning now, and how you can maintain your own values and freedom in life, check out my e-course, Freeform Living. I'll link that in the description as well.
Join my free Patreon group to stay up to date with the latest developments and share a space with like-minded individuals for resources and encouragement to support and help each other. Find me on Truth Social and stay tuned for more episodes here on Rumble and YouTube about freeform living. Thank you for joining me today, and please stay free, stay fearless, and remember, your mind is your greatest asset. See you next time.